Do you have like your third leg tattooed?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So yeah, we did the dick sleeve,
Okay.
as we call it.
From a personal point of view, I would like to ask you if you are natural.
No, I am not natty.
Related to the fitness thing, because you're jacked and you have been always in great shape. And I remember seeing pictures of you without the tattoos, and you were really like bodybuilding and stuff. How has it been? People ask me a lot, like, how do you do? You know, if you get tattoos often, when do you work out? Like, how do you keep the diet? How it's been for you?
So my tattoo was pretty large. Like he was like, you can go work out the same day, can go do your thing. The only thing to really think about was when you have a big part that starts scabbing, like on your bicep, you maybe
Don't do bicep curls.
Don't go down and do curls and get that skin all inflated and have all the scabs cracking, falling everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, he was really laid back.
Okay.
In regards to the healing. And I mean, my tattoos have healed really well.
Yeah.
Despite that laid back approach. I feel like a lot of the time tattooers can be like really overprotective, you know. I mean, it is the human body, and I mean, if the tattooer is doing a proper job, it's going to heal fine anyway.
Have you gotten any of them infected?
No. I've never, at least not my Japanese stuff. I think I had like a little spot in my in the back of my knee.
Yeah.
That I don't even. It was a little bit infected.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a wound. Yeah.
You know, a scab that was there for a long time.
Yeah. It takes a bit longer.
But not anything serious.
Yeah.
No, and I tell this to people, if your tattooer knows what he's doing, you really have to fuck up by a large portion for your tattoo to not heal properly.
I agree. My tattoo artist is always like putting a lot of importance in the how to treat the skin and how to understand the skin of each client. So in my experience, I have healed some tattoos like in the most specific way and structured way, and it has worked out nicely. But then some of them I had just let them be for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden they were. I've been doing sports. I've been going out. So people are like, no, you can't eat this. No, you can't go out. It's like maybe you should do the best you can, obviously, but I have never. People tell me about, I got disinfected. This went completely, and I have a lot of stuff. Never had any problems. Yeah, actually, I want to make you like a question related to this. I love to kind of see all the channels about like fitness and stuff, and there's this like natty or not natty. So from a personal point of view, I would like to ask you if you are natural.
No, I am not natty.
You're not natty.
I started doing roids when I was 2015. So I was 19.
Okay.
I started when I was 19. And I did it nonstop for 5 years. So I was
like blast and cruise.
Yeah, blast and cruise, exactly. I knew from the get-go I didn't want to do a cycle and then do post-psychotherapy, because there's two ways you can do it. You can either do a cycle, and then you can do post-psychotherapy where you come completely off, or you can blast and cruise. And I feel I spent a lot of time researching this, and from what I gathered, if you want to keep your gains consistently, blasting and cruising is the only way that's going to happen, because when you're not on a lot of gear, you're not going to be able to maintain the physique that you had when you were on a lot of gear.
Yeah.
You know, and when you do post psychotherapy, there's always going to be a down period where you don't have very much test in your body, so you're going to lose muscle mass. But when you're blasting and cruising, the difference is, you know, it's not that big, so it's easier to maintain. So I did that for 5 years, primarily because I had an ambition at the point to make a living out of bodybuilding.
Oh, good. That's amazing.
You know, or be a personal trainer. But I decided not to go down that route because I wanted to do competitions, etc. But after getting a little bit of insight into the bodybuilding world, you know, it's only maybe the top 1% of bodybuilders that are actually making a living off of doing competitions. The people who are making the big money are the personal trainers and the people who are big on social media.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, and I just felt like doing competitions, dieting. So this is my personal opinion. I feel like you have to have some mental issue in order to want to live that lifestyle, because you're giving up so much.
Yeah.
You're giving up so much of what's out there. You know,
Yeah.
there's this huge world, so much you can explore and do. And when you're competing in bodybuilding, it's sleep, food, workout, food, sleep, you know?
Yeah, nothing else.
That's
Literally.
the only thing you can do. I couldn't go out and be social. I couldn't do anything because I had to keep, you know, eating, training, not drinking, you know, not doing all this stuff. And I just felt like it was, and for what? You know, and for what? To win some, I was planning on competing, you know, it was just going to be this silly competition where I get a bag of protein bars, you know? So I'm like, okay, I might get a medal and I might get a bag of protein bars. You know, I'm going to be spending what, 5,000 euros on my contest prep, maybe more, probably more.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm getting for what? Protein bars and a little bit of ego polishment, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what I felt it was.
Yeah, the balance between effort and reward is so like uneven.
Yeah. You know, ideally it would just be better working out, enjoying your life, getting big on social media and, you know, selling personal training or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's a better way to make a living off of that, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it too. I watch a lot of stuff and I admire a lot of people doing that because of the same reasons. Like it's one of the biggest efforts like that I've ever seen. Like I'm always making jokes with my friends that there's two worst ideas that you can have for your own life as a male is having a metal band or becoming a bodybuilder, and we love both. Like we love to go to shows, support bands, but that's why. Because you know how much effort you need to put into those things and how little reward you get. Like all the metal bands, they need to work and release like 7 albums to be able to not work somewhere else and keep the band like as the main job. And the bodybuilding thing is, like I love it and I admire them, but then as you just said, like fuck. They need to invest everything. And most of the times for almost nothing. But that's how passion works sometimes. So like how has been your experience with those? Like have you like I'm pretty interested about the like my brain changes.
I mean it really messes up with your mental state. Right. But it's also dose dependent. Like if you're on low doses of, let's say, test, you hardly feel it. It's just like I'd say like ideally 250 milligrams of test, you're gonna feel more energetic, you're gonna feel more happy, you're gonna sleep better, you're gonna make crazy gains, even though you're still on low doses, and you're not really gonna feel any negative drawbacks. And of course it's individual and how sensitive you are to, but a low dose of test, no problem, you're gonna be a Superman. But like when you're doing bodybuilding doses, where you're doing multiple grams. I think the most I ever did was like close to 2.5 grams when I was at my biggest, which is a lot.
Yeah, sounds like a lot.
Yeah. And chicks, they're always like, you don't know what it's like to, you know, to bleed once a month and have your hormones all fucked up. I'm like, yeah, we do. You've not been on trend, you know? You've not been on trend. That's like a 1 month or 3 months constant menstruating.
I've heard so much about trend that completely fucks you up. Like
like your mood is just like this. You know? Up, down, up, down, up, down.
Wow.
It's just a roller coaster.
Wow.
And it's not, I'd say the gains are really good on trend, but it's really rough mental. Like, especially for me, it wasn't that rough as I think it is for many people. A lot of people, they get really bad anger issues. Like I have a couple of friends that they can't do it because they'll break up with their girlfriends and they'll fuck up their relationship because they start doing trend because it messes so much with your mental state.
Do you recommend that?
No, I wouldn't recommend anyone taking steroids at all. Even friends and people I know personally, I always tell them don't. like I encourage people not to do it, like by a large margin.
Yeah.
Like don't do it because most likely you're going to end up having to do it the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Having to deal with, issues for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I understand.